Hey y'all, it's Crystal from Triple C Creations Crafting, coming to you from the beautiful North Georgia mountains. It is rainy right now, and this is part 2 of my wax seal videos, my wax seal journey. So I did a video a few months ago, actually I think it was before Christmas, and I had just started doing wax seals. I really wanted to try, I thought they just look cool, and I did it without buying anything. Like, I used just things I had in my house. I used a candle. I did not have the the little spoon that people do it with. I used a metal, like I think it was a teaspoon or a tablespoon or something like that, and just a regular candle, and just like held it over it. I did not have any fancy wax melts at the time, and what I used was crayons. So I used crayons and I used hot glue. So now in that video, I did talk about how instead of, cutting up my crayons and cutting up the hot glue stick, I actually just started using the hot glue straight out of my hot glue gun because, hey, it's already melted. And what else did I do? Okay, so my tile that I had then was actually, it was one I'd got to make Christmas ornaments on. I had my silicone mat, which I've still got my silicone mat, but I have upgraded some, including my stamps. I still have my homemade button stamps. So these are buttons that are hot glued to clothespins, and they're I think they're just the right weight. They work really well. I had these two, I think, in that video. I don't know that I had these two in the video. This was a pack of buttons I bought at Walmart that are like gears. Some of them I was not able to use because they actually have like holes in them, and it ends up making a mess. But the clock is really cool, and the heart gears are really cool. So I've got those. What else? Let's see. Oh, I've upgraded my crayons because notice how these have like a pearly tint. I heard a word today, pearl luster or something. I thought it was interesting. But these are from the Dollar Tree. So the Dollar Tree has 2 different type crayons that you need to look at. And one is the glitter crayon. I've already taken the paper off this. One's the glitter crayon, and the other is the crayons that are the pearl, have like a pearl finish or sheen or whatever. But they're super cool. They make really, really great wax melts. I have upgraded my tile. So I went to, the one I had was little bitty. It was literally like in the shape of a Christmas ornament. I went to Home Depot and I found this. This is a 6x6, and I took it up to the front to buy. It had no stickers on it either. So I even like took a picture of the like tag that was on the shelf, and I took it up there to pay. And I had this one and I had one for a friend, and they didn't even charge me because they're like, no, those are the samples. I'm like, are you sure? I'm like, I've got the price, like I can pay for them. It was like $1.12, I think. And I tried to pay for it, and the guy's like, no, they're samples, just take them. I felt like a thief walking out of there. Okay, I have upgraded my candle to a actual like little candle stand, I guess, made to hold your specific spoon to melt your wax. So I have updated that. It's just a tea light. This was rose gold. Notice I've spilled some wax on it, but that's okay. It works. It still works very well. I had one spoon, and the spoon didn't balance on it. It was a Temu spoon, but then the spoon actually broke off. Like, it came loose from the spoon itself. So I don't know. This was another one that I had. Notice you get black on the bottom, so I'm gonna leave it off right now. What else? Oh, I've got this spatula. This also came from Temu. It's a silicone spatula. It's comes in handy, even though it's got stuff on it, but it peels off. And I've not had a problem with like the colors transferring. So, I got this mold. This is a little big though, except for, unless you have the bigger seals. This is a little big, but I thought this was a good variety. I've got all different shapes. This is a Teflon sheet, and I know they sell these at like Michael's and Hobby Lobby, but they're the same thing you might have like for other things. You might have them in your kitchen for grilling. I've got some in my kitchen that I bought for grilling. I bought a bunch of these several years ago for my heat press because you use it over your garments to keep the the heating element from sticking to your things. And I actually made, using these, because I bought big sheets, like big sheets, I made covers for the top and bottom of my heat press. The top one is to protect it. The bottom one is so it slides good, because mine has rubber on the bottom and the shirts wouldn't slide good. So I made a Teflon cover for my bottom plate, and then I also made some pressing pillows out of this. So this is just, it's a good craft mat, and they sell it again at Hobby Lobby, I know, in the wax seal section. But I've also seen it used as just like a crafting mat. It's pretty much non-stick, and this is just, this is just a piece I've cut off. It's got stuff on it, but it will flake off. I mean, I might have some stains on it. I would not want to use the same one that I would like use on my shirts, though. I would have a separate one, because then you're going to transfer things to your shirts, and it's not a good thing, because look, I have stuff all over it. But that's okay. I mean, it does just flake off, but definitely I would have a separate one. What else? Okay, so I think I talked about in my first one about maybe using glue dots to stick on my wax seals. I did, again from Temu, I did get some of the stickers. I mean, you get it's like $300 for a couple of dollars. So I did go ahead and get some of those, and I've cut them down to fit my drawers. Oh, my stamps. So I only had homemade stamps, and I have bought a couple of stamps, and one of them is the monogram, the C. Imagine that, triple C. So I got a C, and it works really well. I got this B, and I've not had luck yet. I've not made a whole lot, but it says handmade with love. I thought that would be cool since my cards are handmade. So I've got those. I've got a snowflake, and I got one that's plain, because I've been seeing where you use the clear glue sticks and you use pattern paper, and you have the pattern paper underneath and use clear glue. So I don't know. I've not been real impressed with them yet, but I have tried it. So let's make some stamps. Oops, I'm gonna keep over my new, and this that's on my tile, it will just flake off. So no worries. All right, let's see. I'm gonna take my spoon and I'm gonna put it over there. Now, in my last video, I talked about I don't buy wax. I'm using these crayons. I cut up this. I just went ahead and took the paper off the crayon and kind of broke it up. I think I actually may have used like my Cricut little metal spatula to kind of help me break these. And I like a ratio of 2 parts hot glue to 1 part wax. So I'm just going to square in, it's about 2 trigger pulls. Each one is about the equivalent of 1 piece of the crayon wax. Now, I can use my little spatula to stir it up. Look at that. It's already, like, the crayon itself is already melted. The hot glue is already melted. It does take a little bit more heating to get the two to mix, because your crayon is a lot thinner. And just to get them to mix up, it takes a little bit of not a whole lot, but a little bit of mixing. Otherwise, you can definitely tell the two textures. But that was actually super fast. Look at the color on that. You've got almost like a silver in there. Now, in my last video, I was putting my stamps on a ice block, and I've not done that lately. I've not had any trouble. I think part of the reason I did that with my homemade stamps was, well, one thing I had just, kind of read that you could do that, but also to help it not stick. But like I said, so far I've not had that problem. One thing about using the towel is the towel itself is cold. So when you put the wax on it and you put your stamp in, it cools it faster. So like your turnaround time is faster. And again, putting it in here, I'm not going to move that one yet. I feel like there's too much. Look at the lip around that. I think that's too much wax. But I don't know, with what I poured, that would probably be about right. But if you don't get it exactly in the middle, like if you're not, so when you use one of these, you either fill it up or you just don't use it, I feel like. Because you get them, they're like off center if you don't fill them up. Ooh, that just turned, look how easy that turned loose. Could you just tell that? I didn't like have to pick it off at all. Isn't that so cool? With my Dollar Tree crayons. It's like perfect. I love how it's uneven around it. I actually, that is one of the best wax seals I've done, y'all. Okay, so, and that was super fast. Okay, I'm gonna do another one. I'm just gonna do another one. I'm gonna try the Handmade with Love because my problem with it has been, and I'm gonna use the silicone mat this time, so you can see about how if I don't get it centered, what it looks like. That is so cool that it ends up almost having there's like silver in it. You know, in my path to doing wax melts, I actually used one of my Dollar Tree hot glue guns and tried to put a crayon in it. It did not work well. First off, you can't just use crayon. You have to have a mixture. But I had to like force it through. And then when I was looking about like the hot glue gun, you're kind of stuck with that color until you like, or you squirt it all out. It's not easy to change colors. Now I'm going to have like the opposite luck. No, I'm not, because look at that. See how it's off center? Now let's see if I, yeah, see if I mean, I can kind of move it around a little bit, but I'm also cooling it. Oh, that did kind of fill it out some more. We'll see. I've just not been a big fan of the mat yet, the silicone mat. But if I sit it on here, it's going to help. This is going to help cool it and set it. I think it's a little wet still. In the method that I'm using, one thing, so I talked about if I use the hot glue gun with, even if I buy the wax melts, I'm confined to one color. So when I'm doing this, and this has been the exception, this blue pearly Dollar Tree crayon, I like to mix my colors. I think the wax melts are really cool when you can have two different colors kind of swirl together. And I can't do that because I do have to mix the wax and the hot glue. So what I've done is I've actually like gone ahead and mixed it and just made like almost like just cakes and then like cut them up or broke them up. And then I can take, so these are already mixed. So I could take these and put them in. Hot glue is already in there, and then get the swirl effect. So let's do that. And I have a couple of different spoons here. At first I was cleaning my spoon every time. Let's see. Oh, look at that. That is very good. So far, like the few I've made with this one, the love has not been clear, but that one's very clear. The H is a little messed up. I think maybe it's bubbles. But look at you do get a lip, because you're in like I mean, it's formed. So you get a lip. I like that though. I do. I like it. And you still, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but you get the swirl in those crayons just naturally. It's awesome. Okay. I have a few of these spoons, so I'm going to switch to do my pre-mixed wax melts. If you need to clean, then, when it's hot, just take a paper towel, wipe it out. Always wipe this off, just, extra cleaning. Keeps it from getting in your wax. You can tell I probably already used this with the same ones. But there's not a whole lot of wax left in it, so I've not had an issue with it really like contaminating my color. Now, if I did like white or something, it might, oh, look at this one. So this spoon doesn't balance as well. So I'm just going to have to hold it on. Now, I'm not going to add any hot glue to this because, again, I already melted crayons and added hot glue and made these pieces. So that is the drawback to making, like, kind of making your own wax pieces. And, whoops, I'm going to take, once this cools on your spatula, you can just flake it off. So if there's colors you really want to mix, it's kind of a two-step process. You have to go ahead and mix your stuff and then take those pieces and melt it down. Let's see, what do I want to do? I think I'm going to do the heart again. I want to try, I've seen this on a couple of videos where you like breathe on it and see if that affects the wax getting down in the little letters. I don't know that using an ice pack would be any better, because that you can get condensation, and I did that before and I ended up having some actual like water bubbles on my wax seal that left mess. Okay, so now it's already melted. I can mix it a little bit here, or I can let the mixing happen when I pour it. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let the mixing happen when I pour this. And notice how I'm just kind of going around in a little circle. Use my little silicone spatula. I love this thing. And really one is enough, because I do see some bubbles in it. One's enough because it cools really fast and just peels right off. These are a little bit heavier than the ones I made. If you remember when I first made mine, and I'm just going to talk while that's cooling. When I first made mine, I put it on like a wooden dowel, and I felt like it was too heavy because it went all the way through the wax. Of course, that was before I was using hot glue. I was using just pure crayon wax, so it was very thin. But I put them on the clothespin. It made them a little bit lighter. These are definitely heavier, so I don't know. I kind of feel like sometimes I need to put them on very easy to where I don't just squish the wax. But that's me. Now, it is definitely a preference on how much swirl you want, but look at that. Does make it a little bit harder to read the words, though, I think. So something like this may be better for like your monogram. And you could, I mean, you would do it just like you would determine your swirl based on how much of each color you put in. I did about equal pieces, silver and red. Looks like I got more silver on top, more red on the bottom. But that's the fun of it, is getting to mix it. I'm super excited about this, y'all, and I can't wait to kind of play with it more and figure out some different things. These Dollar Tree crayons make super pretty wax seals, though. So if you've not got them, I mean, $1.25 for 8 crayons, I think. And I think I cut one crayon into like 10 pieces. So that's, theoretically, that's like 10 wax melts, because it takes one of these. I'm using one of these for each wax melt. So if you've not tried them, I would definitely go try them. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. And hey, if you want to check out my very first wax seal video, go watch it and see what you can do. If you're watching this video and you're like, oh, I want to try that, but I don't have anything to make wax seals with. I bet you do. I really bet you do. I bet you could, if you are a crafter, I bet you would have those items around your house, and you can do it tonight. So until next time, see you later.